I'm Leslie Romerl. I'm here today to talk to you about spices. I think that's one of the really wonderful things that just tops off your soup and makes it so delicious and unique and hearty and enjoyable. Your family will really appreciate your efforts. Of course, salt and pepper, and I prefer sea salt. And when I'm not measuring, sometimes I don't measure, I just put a little bit in my hand. But be sure when you add salt to put it in your hand first. Don't ever dump the can of salt because you could end up with way more than you really wanted. So be sure that you put it in your hand or in a spoon just so you don't get too much. And pepper you can just put in, I'd say put it in your hand too, or it doesn't come out as fast, so you can get just a measured amount that you need. And those are two basics every soup must have. Another basic is onions. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to have fresh green ones in my garden, and those are always great diced up and put in. The family loves those. Be sure to wash them first. And I also keep on hand diced dried onions because they are so much quicker and easier, and to be lazy you can just get yourself a supply of dried onions. Or fresh is great if you don't mind the tears. They're wonderful too. And another basic is garlic. So onion, garlic, salt and pepper. And garlic, it doesn't matter whether you use when I use fresh, I just get the minced. That's, again, the lazy way to do it. It's wonderful and easy. Or you can just use the clove and crush it freshly and use it. That's wonderful also. Or the powdered garlic is also great. Be sure not to use as much of the powdered garlic. You can use more of the fresh. The powder, you can go overboard with that. And I think for most things you make, a teaspoon is plenty. And then another essential is bay leaf, of which I have none right now. I just use the whole bay leaf and just put the whole thing in. Usually for a pan of soup, I would put about 4 leaves of laurel or bay leaf. And I usually try to be sure and count how many I put in, and then before I serve it, I try to fish them back out because you may already know they don't soften up or season. They season the soup, but they don't break into it like the other spices will. So be sure and fish them out first. From there, you can add just about any spices you like. If I'm doing a creamy soup, I love to put some curry in it. Curry is very good with cream soups. I like celery salt is good in nearly any kind. I like it especially for creamy soups. And another essential for nearly everything you make is just a dash of nutmeg. Just a dash. Doesn't take much. I'd say 1/4 teaspoon in soup. It just gives it some special mystery. It's very good. And turmeric is very good in chicken, especially chicken and pork. Cilantro, of course, is good for your Mexican dishes, and cumin is good for the Mexican dishes. Dill is good in fish. I love that in fish, salmon or other cod or other fish dishes. It's very good with the dill. Mint is very good also with chicken or with beef. Just a little, just maybe 1/4 teaspoon or less. Basil is good in everything. You can put that in any sauce or soup. It's so good. Caraway caraway and cardamom are sort of a Scandinavian spice, and it's used very lightly. Again, 1/8 or 1/4 teaspoon will be plenty. And oregano usually for it could be for chicken or beef or pork when you want to have Italian style. Parsley is good in everything, any sauce or soup. Poppy seeds are very good in a sweet, if you're doing a sweet soup, like I sometimes do with pork, sometimes make that sweet and put poppy seed in that. Poultry seasonings, I like poultry seasoning in chicken or pork. I think poultry seasoning is good with either. Pumpkin spice, if you're making a vegetable soup, the pumpkin spice is very good. Red peppers, red pepper is healthy for you, and it makes a very good, it's equal with black pepper. Use it just the same as black pepper. Rosemary for your Italian, if you want an Italian spice, I like it with chicken or beef or pork. I don't care for it as much with fish, but you may prefer it. That works. Tarragon is wonderful for poultry. Love it with poultry or pork. It's very good. Thyme is good with the chicken or the beef. And I think that's all the spices. So use the spices, experiment with them, and have fun.